Hello, my Jude crew. Amber here, coming at you from my studio. Yeah, we are going to be talking about something today that, quite frankly, has been getting out of control. That's right, we're talking about kidults.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Yes, you heard that correctly. We are covering the topic of kidults today.
My wife has never cosplayed before. She is now getting into cosplay. She loves it. When I talk to her, she's like, why do you do it? And I'm like, well, I get to be somebody that I'm not for a few hours, and I get to just act and be funny and be silly.
Grown-ups who instead of embrace the responsibility are out here collecting toys, obsessing over children's franchises, and avoiding anything and everything that remotely resembles adulthood.
I don't know what to do. I need an adult. I am an adult. I need an adultier adult!
And the worst part of all of this? Society's encouraging it. Oh, and before we dive in, I would like to thank our sponsor, House of Joppa. More on them a little bit later in the video though. I'm not even going to explain how we got the word kidult. You guys should already know how that word came about, but I will explain what a kidult is. Kidults refer to people who are technically grown up, but live as though they are teenagers still. Think of this, just in your little noggin, think of this. Adults dropping hundreds of dollars on action figures, spending hours a day on video games, or freaking out over a new movie that was just released by Disney like they're 5 years old. And okay, look, a little nostalgia is fine. I'm not here to poo-poo on your little nostalgia, dream or whatever. But when your entire identity is built around childhood obsessions, we have a problem. I'm about to spill the tea. A recent report has even found that adults are now accounting for 28% of global toy sales. 28%! Nearly a third of the toy market is catering to people who should be paying mortgages, not hoarding stuffed animals. Okay, but why is this happening? Simple. Society has made it way too easy to not grow up. And let's be real. Adulthood is difficult. Bills, work, mortgages, kids, responsibilities. Not exactly as fun as playing video games or eating, ice cream out of a Star Wars bowl, but it's much more fulfilling. But you know what's worse than growing up? A world full of infantilized adults who cannot function outside of their hobbies or their parents' homes. And the Catholic Church has said a lot about maturity and what it means to be an adult and responsibilities. The Catechism literally tells us when they become adults, children have the right and duty to choose their profession and state of life, and they should assume their new responsibilities. Key words here are duty and responsibility. And to be honest, prolonged adolescence doesn't affect just the individual. Of course, there are effects on that person, but it affects society as a whole. It's literally destroying families, society, the church. I mean, the church can't actually be destroyed, but it's definitely weakening the people of the church. And it's just been this whole thing that's just kind of been building up, and I think it really took off during COVID, and now we're just at this point where people just do not want to take responsibility for anything. Even making a phone call is too hard for people. That's not a quirk. That's a problem. The Catholic Church has taught that adulthood is about virtue and prudence and fortitude and temperance, making good decisions, not giving up when things get tough, not throwing a tantrum in the middle of the street, or when you hit somebody's car and that person runs you down and catches you and then you throw this whole fit.
You're not hurt.
Having self-control is just non-existent today. Instead, we are raising generations of people who believe that self-care means avoiding anything difficult and treating themselves like they're toddlers. And when it comes to prudence, fortitude, and temperance, these are the main three virtues that I see adults struggling with. And I think the reason for that is because, when it comes to prudence, which is wisdom and judgment, they have a hard time making decisions because their whole life revolves around feelings and fun, not logic and responsibility. And part of that is on their parents. I think they definitely got coddled too much, and they had an iPad as a babysitter. But at the same time, they're adults now. They have a responsibility to not behave that way anymore and to better themselves. When it comes to fortitude, which is courage and perseverance, adults are often like hard things, commitment, no thank you. These people can crumble under the slightest inconvenience because they have never been taught how to be resilient. They were always just given whatever they want to stop throwing a tantrum, this or that, put in front of an iPad. They don't have self-control. And then of course, that leads us into temperance, which is about self-control and discipline. Because we live in a world that is so instantly gratifying, people can binge watch Netflix, DoorDash their food, among other things, but they cannot sit still with their thoughts for more than 5 minutes. It's really sad. I also want to throw in here that if you are a kidult, I'm not trying to shame you, but I am trying to bring it to your attention that this is not healthy. Okay? Not healthy. I was a kidult up until I was about 21. I'm not lying. I have been here. I am where you are now if you are a kidult. And I want to tell you, it's so much better when you become an adult and you embrace responsibility and you don't stay stuck in your adolescence. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick because I don't want you to think that I'm like bullying you or blah, 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 blah. And it might seem like bullying, but it is coming from a place of love and charity. Sometimes bullying can be charitable. Interrupting your guys' awesome video experience to bring you our sponsor today, House of Joppa. Your house is more than just a place to live. It's where faith is nurtured, memories are made, and beauty reminds us of the divine. At House of Joppa, they help bring rich Catholic tradition into each corner of your life and your house. On their website, you can find beautifully crafted statues, ornate crucifixes, beautiful books like this one, which are the sermons of Archbishop Fulton Sheen. I have been reading this nonstop. Now that we're in Lent, his reflections have really helped me grow deeper with Christ. House of Joppa has plenty of items to help you keep God at the forefront of your mind and grow deeper with Christ. So bring faith into your home with beauty and reverence. You can go to houseofjoppa.com. That's houseofjoppa.com and find something for you and your family today. All right, guys, with all of that being said, let's get back into this super awesome, amazing video. Also, I love this quote from Saint Jose Maria Escriva. He said, "Don't say, that's the way I am. It's my character. It's your lack of character. Esto ver." I don't think I said that right. Be a man. Now let's talk about something that's a little less popular to talk about when talking about kidults, and that is how kidults and this prolonged adolescence is absolutely wrecking marriage and family life. And little disclaimer here, if you are not married young, I don't want you to feel like you do not have worth or that you have to get married young. Everybody is on their own path, but this is just a whole societal thing that we have been seeing. So don't take offense. It is what it is. It kind of sucks that I have to say that and I have to put disclaimers because everyone's so sensitive these days, but I'm putting it out there anyway, just in case you feel offended, because I'm not trying to offend you specifically, but there are people out there who prolong their adolescence and then never get married or wait until they're 30 and then they find out that they actually want kids or want to get married, etc., and then they mature too late and then they realize they can't have kids, or it's like this whole thing. It's been pretty prominent in secular media, but if you yourself are discerning your vocation, you're an adult, you're taking on responsibilities, etc., this is not targeted at you, which should be obvious by the title. But if you think you're a kidult, stop it. Get some help. No, for real though, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm a woman, I'm funny, but wait, no, I'm not. I'm a woman. That was also a joke. Please don't cancel me. Anyways, okay. Prolonged adolescence impacts marriage and families. For centuries, people got married young, they had kids, and built a strong family unit. But today, nope. None of that.
Can't do it, not today.
Everyone's too busy finding themselves and living their best life. Instead of preparing for their vocation, whether that's religious life, consecrated single life, or marriage, young adults are out here saying, I'm not ready for commitment, while simultaneously blowing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on Disneyland trips and anime merch. And then it comes to kids, right? Kids, too much work. Better to just keep playing video games and pretend that I'm still 16 because I'm a child at heart too. Kids raising kids, even though you're 32. Kidult culture has really turned men to be weak. Also kind of communicated to women that being a mother is beneath them. So it's no surprise that Pope Pius XI said, "The family is more sacred than the state, and men are begotten not for the earth and for time, but for heaven and eternity." Yet here we are, replacing faith and family with fandoms and consumerism. There has also been a significant decrease in people involved in parishes. People claim that they don't have time for mass, and yet they have time to binge watch an entire TV show or play video games with their friends for 6 hours.
I have a question for people who don't binge watch TV. Why are you on earth? I'll be talking to girls like, I don't watch TV. Like, well, what do you do? I work part-time. Well, what do you do the rest of the part of the time? I don't know, I mean, like go for a walk. Where are you walking? Across country? Every day? You have no time in the world to watch TV? I don't really like it. How could you not like it, right? I'll tell you what I don't like is you.
Make it make sense. Instead of being, helpful people in the community, they're just glued to their screens. They're completely disconnected from the people around them outside of their close friend circles. And even then, most of those close friend circles are probably online. I don't even want to get started on the whole AI girlfriend boyfriend thing. I realize my TV turned off in the background. I don't know how long it's been off for, but sorry about that, whatever. So per usual, this is not a channel of despair and constant negativity, but instead I want to give you tools to help combat this. If you are a kidult, you know someone who's a kidult, or you just need to deal with a kidult. Catholicism is not anti-fun, okay? It's not. Saints like Saint Philip Neri, Saint John Bosco literally encouraged joy and playfulness. But joy or happiness is not the same thing as perpetual adolescence. The problem is not that people enjoy hobbies like airsoft or video games or watching one of their favorite Marvel movies. The issue is that they let it consume their entire life, their entire personality. There is a massive difference between having a healthy interest in a hobby and making your entire personality revolve around childhood nostalgia. I want to be clear here. Leisure is good when it's oriented towards God. Rest is important. Even God rested. But moderation in everything is key, and with moderation comes virtue. You need to have virtue in order to have moderation. And I guess the most important thing is being an adult means you prioritize your faith and your vocation over any and all entertainment. That also includes this YouTube channel. But please stay, because I'm poor. But just like St. Paul said, when I became a man, I did away with childish things, and you should too. At the end of the day, I don't think this is really all that complicated. The main message here is grow up and accept responsibilities, live your faith, find your vocation, stop running from responsibilities, because true happiness is not found in escapism. It's found in fulfilling the role that God made for you, specifically you. And if that offends you, again, not trying to offend you, but maybe you should be asking yourself why it offends you. Critical thinking. Something that's been illegal in this country, it feels like, for the last 15 years. Anyways, guys, point is, I love you guys. I hope you guys are going to have a great rest of your day. Stay sane, stay Catholic, stop acting like a child. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!